Hi students, today we are going to see for 11th students about work energy theorem. So, for example, when we take a plastic paper, right, and if I switch on to the fan, so a force will be acting on the plastic paper, due to which the plastic paper may fly into air, right? Now, what will happen when you watch or keenly observe that movement of the plastic paper, you might see that due to the force applied on it, it displaces to a particular distance. So it means a work is said to be done on the plastic paper, right? And even though when you look keenly, you can see something that is the plastic paper moves with different velocity at different points. So due to the force variation, right? So the work done on a body by the force during its displacement is always equal to change in kinetic energy of that object or body. So work done is equal to change in kinetic energy of the body means it is what we call as the work energy theorem, right? Now, a diagram has to be drawn. So if O is the initial position of the object, let us consider S1 be the initial displacement and S2 be the final displacement, and at this point V1 be the initial velocity and V2 be the final velocity of the object or body. Consider the body is at the point or position P here. So, see, a force is acting on the object due to which it displaces. It means a work is said to be done on the object. So, it moves to a position P. At this point, the force acting on the object or body is along this direction. So now this force can be resolved into two components. One will be acting tangentially, another will be perpendicular to this. That is normal to this. This force is called as normal force. This force is called as this force component. Okay, this force component is called as the tangential force Ft. Now I am going to drop a perpendicular line from here and then here. So between F suffix T and the force F, there is an angle theta, right? So this angle will also be the same thing. So if this is the opposite side, if this is the hypotenuse side, this is the adjacent side, so opposite by hypotenuse is equal to sine theta. So the opposite side is equal to F sine theta. So here the opposite side is parallel to F suffix n. So the normal force is F sine theta. In order not to forget, here n is coming, here n is there, sine, okay. Now adjacent by hypotenuse is equal to cos theta. So adjacent is equal to F cos theta. Here the adjacent side is along F suffix T. So that is the tangential force is equal to Ft is equal to F cos theta. This normal force has no effect, because if it has effect, then the object would not go till this distance, it will come and fall to the ground, right? So it has no effect. So here we have to consider only the tangential force. This force is acting tangentially along the path of the movement of the object, right? Now we know that F suffix T is equal to mass into A suffix T, where A suffix T is the acceleration which is acting along the tangential line, or we can also call it as tangential acceleration. This tangential acceleration is also equal to rate of change of velocity, or can also be written as dv by ds into ds by dt. So let me substitute the value of f suffix t here. So f suffix t is nothing but f cos theta is equal to m into dv by ds into ds by dt. We know that ds by dt is equal to the linear velocity. So I can write this as f cos theta is equal to m into v into dv by ds. Bringing this ds here, so this is nothing but f cos theta component into ds is nothing but the work done on the object between the positions 1 and 2. So this is 1, this is 2. Now in order to get the total work done, we have to integrate on both the sides. So the limits are s1 to s2. Here I am going to take m common outside. So the limits are v1 to v2, v into dv. So now we know that, as I said, integration of s1 to s2 f cos theta ds is nothing but work done from the position 1 to 2. So I can write it as work done from 1 to 2 is equal to m into integration of v dv is nothing but v squared by 2. So limits v1 to v2. Let me apply the limits. M into v2 squared by 2 minus m into v1 squared by 2. This is nothing but change in kinetic energy. So here we have proved that work done by a force during its displacement is always equal to change in kinetic energy on the object during the displacement. Alright? So this is what we call as the work energy theorem. I think you must have understood. Thank you, dears.